Bucket with Diggs and Pat. Ah! It's my quad. Pulled a quad last week. Mybookie.ag, promo code Pat. 100% match on your
How
deposit.
did you get hurt in that?
Oh, dude.
Would be a real shame if Diggs goes on the IR for introducing me. Would be a real shame.
Promo code Pat, match 100% up to $1,000. They gave us a ticker too. You can bet on everything there. Pat tomorrow is throwing bags into a cornhole board, so bet on that.
Hammer the over. Also, bet on Bill Cosby dying in jail. I think that's a lock. That blind guy's going to get penetrated right to heaven. Or hell, actually, now that I think about it.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment of the week.
Would be a real shame.
Oh,
Wednesday. Would be a real shame if the Patriots are now the Browns. Would be a real shame if the Patriots dynasty became the Patriots horror film. Would be a real shame if while balls are being tossed on yachts and camels are being rode on the beach and retirement was threatened, if that was the last time you could say the Patriots were a good team. Would be a real shame. Mass holes everywhere sweating.
I'd like to go on record and say as soon as they get Edelman back and Gordon's playing, they're going to never lose a game again.
That's probably the case. Would be a real shame.
Would be a real shame if the Cleveland Browns, riding this high, went in the black hole and lost to an 0-3 John Gruden Raiders team.
Wow.
That would be a real shame if that happened to that team. If the whole city was just so happy and then it all came crashing down. That'd be a real shame, wouldn't it? Would it?
I'd be bummed out.
I wouldn't.
I'd be real bummed out.
That'd be a real shame, huh?
Would be a real shame if Andy Reid, the Kool-Aid Man, Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Dustin Colquitt, Travis Kelce never lose a game. Would be a real shame if the Kansas City Chiefs and the home of the Chiefs. It's what they do at Arrowhead Stadium during the national anthem. I don't see it disrespectful. Some people might. Be a real shame if they're the next ones up, if they're the dynasty, if they're the young quarterback that's cheap and the team around him that's great. Would be a real shame.
You know, it was probably the biggest shame is when another team went undefeated and then they lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. That was probably a big shame.
I was part of a team that was undefeated, and so we chose to lose, and then we lost to Drew Brees and a stupid baby.
Yeah.
That was a real shame.
It'd be a real shame if the Colts were down 4-5 points, 2 seconds left on the clock, and they were on the opponent's 45, and they had to bring in Jacoby Brissett to throw a 45-yard Hail Mary. That'd be a real shame to see.
It would be a real, that is a real that would be. That is a real shame. That ain't good.
I'd pay to see that. I hope that happens this weekend.
Would be a real shame if Adam Vinatieri kicks Morton Anderson out of the record books forever. Would be a real shame. Would be the Italian just cooking the books to get rid of Morton Anderson would be a real shame. Happening this weekend. Just one of the records that Vinatieri is going to get this year.
Would be a real shame if the Chiefs did not trade for Earl Thomas. Their secondary is a disaster. They're going to get Eric Berry back. They trade for Earl Thomas. Now you finally have a secondary. Now you can actually stop people and score points. Maybe you do go undefeated. Hopefully the rumors are true that the Chiefs are seriously looking at getting Earl Thomas.
Would be a real shame on that note if Russell Wilson just continues this heavy decoy and Sierra leaves him and goes back to dating rappers. That'd be a real shame.
Wouldn't be a shame for the Seahawks locker room. They could listen to Future again.
What song does Future sing? Percocet.
Yeah, Molly.
Molly Percocet.
Would be a real shame if Lev Bell showed up week 10, faked an injury.
Also would be a real shame if overweight Lev Bell pulls a muscle while performing in Miami, his new rap song.
Happens to athletes.
Play the video. He looks fat. Hey, but he looks happy, and that's all that matters.
Told you. He's in shape. Don't worry about him. It'd be a real shame if you guys didn't watch tomorrow and took all of our picks and put them into Mybookie.ag, promo code PAT, and won $1 billion.
$1 billion. Also, hammer the cornhole over. I'm going to do that in my sleep.
Yeah. That was today's show.
Would be a real